Okay. In the circuit, present value of Z is 1. This value of Z is 1 means present output of this D flip flop is 1 because this Q is fed back to this. This Q is basically Z. Okay. So I can say that the present output of the D flip flop is 1 and that is the value of also Z. Neglecting the delay in the combinational circuit, the value of S and Z respectively after the application of clock. Okay. Whenever D flip flop will be triggered, it will go from present output state to the next output state according to this characteristic equation. What will be the next output state of a D flip flop is nothing but the present input will become the next output state of a D flip flop. Now, before application of clock, what is the present input of the D flip flop? We'll look into it. Okay. Now here, when present input of Z is 1, then this combinational circuit will produce output what? X XOR Y XOR Z, 1 XOR 1 XOR 0. 1 XOR 1 XOR 0 will be 0. How? 1 XOR 1 will be 0 because both the inputs are same, then output will be 0. Then the result 0 will be XORed with 0. 0 XOR 0 will be again 0 because both the inputs are same. So, before application of clock, when the present input is Z, present value of Z is 1, or we can say that the present output of the D flip flop is 1, then the output of this combinational circuit is 0. Now, when you apply the clock, then present input of this D flip flop will be nothing but this 0 value. Before application of clock, this Z is 1, present output of flip flop is 1 and Z is also 1. Z is directly coming to this point and by XORing 1 XOR 1 XOR 0, this combinational circuit is producing output 0. So before application of clock, here your output is 0, here your output is 1, yeah, value of S is 1 and value of Z is 1. Value of S is 0 and value of Z is 1 before application of clock. Okay. Now they have asked you to find out the value of S and Z after application of clock. As soon as you will apply the clock, the value of next state, this flip flop will go from the present output state to the next output state, and next output state will be nothing but the value of D, which is 0, value of D which is yes, and which will be 0. So as soon as you will apply the clock, present output of this D flip flop is 1, present input of this D flip flop is 0, output will go from present output state to the next output state, and next output state value is nothing but the present input value D, which is 0. So this output goes from 1 to 0, present output 1 to 0 as soon as you will apply clock. As soon as Q will become 0, this Z value will become 0. This Z comes in the feedback as 0. This changes from 1 to 0. Now, what is the value of S? 0 XOR 1 XOR 0. 0 XOR 1 is 1. 1, the result is 1, and the result will be XORed with 0. 1 XOR 0 will be 1. So this S will change from 0 to 1. Now they have asked to find out the value of S and Z. Now S is 1 after application of clock, because as soon as you will clock this D flip flop, output will go from 1 to 0, and as soon as Z will become 0, it will come here, and as this combinational circuit has 0 delay, as soon as Z will be 0, 0 XOR 1 XOR 0 will produce the output of S as 1. So S will not be 0, rather S will be 1, because this Z comes into feedback of this comes in the input of this combinational circuit, and as soon as Z will be 0, this combinational circuit as soon as this combinational circuit will get Z as 0, this will produce output immediately as 1 and changes its value from 0 to 1. So yes value will be definitely 1 after application of clock. And what is the value of Z? Z value is nothing but the value of Q, which is now 0. So value of Z will be nothing but 0. So yes value is 1 and Z value is 0. So option C is absolutely correct. Here in hurry you can you can make a mistake by taking Z to be 0 and yes to be 0. Just in hurry, because as soon as Z will go 0, it will change the output of this XOR gate, this XOR combination X XOR Y XOR 0, and S will change. Now S will rest at 1 and Z will rest at 0 until and unless you will apply a clock and change the output D from this 0 value to 1. Because if you will apply the next clock, D input is now 1, this input will go to the next output and output will change from 0, present output 0 to next output 1. And as soon as Z will go 1, this will come in feedback, this S will 1 XOR 1 XOR 1 will become 0, and this continues. Okay, S will be 1 and Z will be 0 is the right answer. In hurry, you can pick this answer, option A, 0 0. Okay, that is wrong option. Let us discuss the next question.